The night after our family reunion, I refreshed my banking app and watched my savings turn into $87. My brother-in-law, Seth, leaned on my fridge and smirked. "Relax," he said. "We needed it more than you." I stared at my sister on the couch. She sipped wine and shrugged. "It's not like we stole it," she said. "We're family." I asked my mom if she knew. She didn't even look up from her knitting. "Sweetheart, you're always so sensitive," she sighed. "You have no kids, no mortgage. You're fine." Dad barely glanced off his phone. "Watch your language, Mason." That was the moment I realized I wasn't a son or a brother in that house. I was a debit card with legs. It had been like that for years. Phone bills, small loans, their kids' birthday stuff I wouldn't mind, and a credit card, emergency, they never repaid. Last week, Sarah had even texted, "Just bring yourself and your card." I thought she was joking. Cute. I zipped my coat and headed for the door. Sarah called after me. "Don't be like that. We needed it more than you." I paused with my hand on the knob, turned back, and smiled. "Then you won't mind what's coming next." 2 days later, she spam called me like I was the one who did something wrong. "Mason, we have a problem," she whispered. "The power company's threatening to shut us off by Monday." I laughed, short and sharp. "So you drained my account and now you want round two?" "We used some of it to help mom and dad too," she snapped. "You always say no unless it's an emergency." "That isn't an excuse," I said. "That's a confession." 3 days after that, mom ordered me to a family dinner because I'd caused tension. I showed up anyway. Part of me wanted answers. The other part wanted to see if they'd even fake remorse. They didn't. Seth lounged at the table like game night. Sarah sat with her arms crossed. Dad flipped through the mail. Mom cleared her throat. "We know you're upset, but we were struggling." "You didn't ask," I said. "You took." Sarah rolled her eyes. "Stop saying stole. It was family money. You always help." I reached into my bag and slammed a printed spreadsheet on the table. $72 on makeup, $900 on takeout, $2,000, $300 for Seth's car loan. Seth's face darkened. "You went through our accounts?" "Oh, I did more than that," I said, opening my laptop. "Every transfer is traceable. I filed a fraud report." Sarah's smile cracked. "You didn't." "I did." The first knock hit like a judge's gavel on wood. A second knock followed, slower, heavier, meaner. Then 3 brutal pounds shook the whole damn door frame. A voice barked through the door, sharp and official. "Financial crimes unit, open up right now." I stood up, chair scraping, and walked to the door. My hand turned the knob like it weighed 100 pounds. I opened it, and 3 agents stepped into my living room. One scanned the room, another read from a tablet. "Mr. Carver, thank you for your cooperation," the lead agent said. Sarah's knees buckled into the chair. Mom's hand flew to her mouth. Seth tried to stand tall, then sat down under the agent's stare. "We didn't steal," Sarah blurted. "He always helped. We had a right." The agent didn't blink. "Entitlement isn't authorization. Remain seated." Mom turned to me, tears already spilling. "Mason, please. We were desperate. You're the strong one." I looked her dead in the eyes. "You don't get to cry now." For the first time in my life, nobody talked over me. Nobody laughed. Nobody told me to be the bigger person. The agents did their job, and my family finally met reality. I left without a scene. I drove until my hands stopped shaking and parked at my late grandma's old house, the only place I'd ever felt safe. I slept 11 hours straight. When I woke up, the silence felt weird and perfect. The fallout hit fast. Dad emailed about loyalty. Sarah texted that I'd ruined them over a couple payments. My brother warned me she'd claim I approved it. So I hired a lawyer and filed for a restraining order. I moved states. I changed my number. Work got easier when I stopped paying their bills. A week later, Seth's sister emailed me. "I used to think you were cold," she wrote. "Now I think you were brave." Months after that, a check showed up for $1,200 with a note. "For everything you paid for, thank you for being the example." People ask if I regret it. I don't. I regret waiting so long to say one sentence out loud. "I'm not your bank. I'm not your backup plan. I'm done." So tell me, if your family drained you like that, would you press charges or still keep the peace?